Today I'm going to record a recap of the factional Civil World. This is probably going to be the last recap, but there's going to be 2 more lore recaps. It's just going to show up everything that has happened. A lot has happened. Let's get this started. One thing to note is that there is the event area, and we have done like 4 to 5 events with people getting netherite gear and stuff. So people have been getting more stacked in these events. And it's been pretty. Also, there is just someone's stuff in this barrel. There is literally this like someone's stuff. This is like the average players. What's this? Okay, you can ignore that, right, guys? You can ignore that they just said they wanted to grief my base, right? Because, I mean, if you look at my name, it's Kaz. Anyways, these are the upcoming round events, and we just last the Trident Throw. No, these don't really matter because I'm just going to do random ones anyway. Oh, yeah, it was pretty good. It's notable that multiple small wars happen with people conquering these villages and looting them. There's a lot of terrorism. These are all the nations that exist right now. Wait, I actually forgot to write down who owns this. Oh, this is under... But yeah, so we have Impian Empire, Briavia, it's just the Brave Kingdom, Pablos Empire, or Pablos, I don't know. The BBC Gladiators. I'm just gonna... I should make it the regular BBC Gladiators, because I wanted it to not seem like, you know, the Taliban, the Kazrian Kingdom, and the Kenshin Dynasty, you know, those are all, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different nations, but this nation right here basically doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, why is it raining? We can go take a look at a couple of things, for now, let's go over and look at some bases. Well, I'm flying over to my old base. So the Pablos Empire's base specialized in water, so they literally lived in like the literal like ocean, like water, like ocean. Nation's base is a flying sky base, and here's my base. No, it's not the skyscraper. I've already shown off my base, and I believe Micklef lava casted my entire base. I'll talk about that later. Look at my farm, man. Oh, there's Micklef's base. You know, let's go. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't want to show people's bases, but those aren't any of the bases anymore. So I mean, there's another skyscraper. There's no base under this one. This was Straw Hat, not Micklef. He just made. I don't actually know if Micklef lava casted my base, but. It could have been Straw Hat, but I don't think so, because Micklef planned to grief my base. Like, he put it in a book. We just saw it. And, yeah. And, also, by this time, everyone has netherite. Just letting you know that, by the way. Because everyone has, like, netherite gear, people have been using end crystals and stuff to fight. There's been a couple of wars, there's been a lot of events, and there's also been a lot of construction. There's the grand flying base of the Taliban and stuff, there's the Kenshin Dynasty's building, there's a lot of construction, but let's quickly just go over all the wars. The Taliban army ordered by nation fought against Micklef's Mika Empire. And there's a little bit problem with Micklef. So Micklef's nation doesn't really have a name. Like he's just the Mika Empire, because that's usually his name. So he's the Mika Empire. He doesn't really have any effects or anything. So we'll leave that blank. So he kind of was always put at a disadvantage. But that's because he never really got to making his own faction for some reason. But anyway, the Taliban fought and killed Micklef and took the book and then publicly showed at the book what he was planning to do. So me and the Kenshin Dynasty, CazrioJM, we declared war on Micklef, but only I did something. But before the Taliban even fought, Micallef. I threatened Micallef with war because he was really close to my base and I wanted to claim his territory, but I didn't go to war. But after that, when me and Kenshin Dynasty were at war with Micallef, technically the Kenshin Dynasty blew up Micallef's base, and technically I raided his tunnel and stuff. And then Micallef just kind of, they kind of collapsed. I think that's why that sign was in there, because they just kind of collapsed, yeah. After that, the world was a little bit settled, but there was a couple of issues. There's a lot of netherite loot going around and stuff, and there was more bases being made, and there was also this new team, the BBC Gladiators. Pretty crazy, huh? I'm gonna go beat my knee, to be honest. People started to just fly around and look for people's bases, because there was one crucial thing in the server. When I started this server with items, I wanted there to be nothing like elytras, right? Because elytras are like really shitty. And then New Breed and like his friends all just said, no, please, please, let me have an elytra, please, please. So I was gonna give them a curse of binding elytra, and they're like, no, no, no. And then he got like Zach also. They're like, that's kind of stupid, man. So there was like 5 different people just saying, no, 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 no curse of binding, good elytra, and then I just gave it to them. And then of course other people yelled at me later because people can just run away at any time. With the fireworks, you can just run away in a fight. And literally, it's completely my fault, but it's also because 5 people were like, hey, I'm gonna yell at you until you give me what I want. Like, and they're, yeah. I mean, I guess it is my fault for letting them have it, but they, Newbreed was like gonna just not play the server if I didn't give it to him. And Newbreed usually has a pretty substantial amount of players to join. He's British, so he has all the British people. Though the game hasn't even joined anyway, so yeah. Look at that magnificent area. Pretty crazy. With all the items people have, people are pretty diverse, but there's also a lot of times that people literally just are fighting and it just never ends and stuff. But I mean, yeah. The wars that happen after we'll call them the Mecha Wars, are a little bit more complex, to say the least. As more villages appeared, there was another war that happened after the Mecha Wars. So, basically, I'm gonna tell you the truth, since I don't think anyone cares anymore. Angel's team burned down Nation's base. Burned it. And then Spitfire's team, BBC Gladiators, got raided before that, and they thought Nation raided them. So Spitfire blew up the rest of Nation's base, thinking that that was Nation's base, because it just looked like a base with no roof. And then they publicly announced that in chat, Taliban declared war on Spitfire, and the Kenshin Dynasty was like, okay. And then later on, like Kenshin Dynasty. So then was the war between the Taliban and the BBC Gladiators. They fought. Taliban won, kind of. They killed some people, but they didn't like win because BBC Gladiators kind of ran. Because they were literally popping golden apple. Because like, the Taliban literally have the best loot on the server. They have golden apples and crystals. They can literally do whatever they want, and they never play fair, so it doesn't really matter. BBC Gladiators did just run because they've been stealing from everyone basically. Afterwards, that war, the Kenshin Dynasty would declare war on the Taliban. And also, the Taliban almost declared war on Kazria, but then I just, like, tried to not declare war on. And then there was a war, and then, I don't know if you would count it as a war. I kind of trespassed on the Taliban's base, but I don't count that as a war. So basically, that was all the wars that happened until now. There probably won't be any more wars. In the lore recap, I'm going to separate the 2 wars because they happened in the last week and a half. Right now, it's literally like almost the modern age. We're like literally almost at the modern age. So yeah, we're in the medieval age. I'll talk about the later ancient age and then the entire medieval age in the lore recap. This is the server recap, not lore recap, by the way. Thanks for watching. Stay holy.